Welcome back, students. We were talking about segmentation, targeting and positioning 2.0, and we discussed how targeting 2.0 is more based on creation of user persona. And we were discussing that persona creation actually helps a digital marketer in developing more customized marketing strategies. You are able to have better connect. You can optimize your websites. You can have more responsive pages by linking everything to the user persona and by providing them such kind of web navigation and features which they are looking forward to. Now one has to look at and understand that personas are different from segments. Personas are helping the marketeers in targeting different content to consumers who are coming to the digital platform with a different goal, and they might have varied goals, and that is what is bringing them to your website. Let us more in detail look at the stages of persona development. How can you really go for persona development? So, students, it again is built up of 4 interlinked stages. You identify your target segment, you understand their values, behavior, interest, you do some quantitative research, follow it up with your qualitative data, and this exercise is going to help you in creating the user personas. How would you identify your target segment? Initially, you can identify them by doing your segmentation exercise. So, you need to identify the right segments or cohorts or clusters for which you would like to then further prepare detailed personas. The initial input towards building the personas can be your demographic data, it can be your need assessment, it can be any other variable which will act as a criterion variable which will help you to have initial inputs in the persona building. It would really help a marketer to know perceptions of the identified segments, the value expectation that probably they have from you, from your product and service, any specific engagement needs, what are they really expecting from your brand, and then you identify the segments, see the commonality, and then draw the personas for those segments. Some of the factors that also help you to analyze and finalize your target segment can be the size of the segment, how probable it is for the segment to grow in future, what is the company's strategic direction, and the way forward that you have crafted for your own self, where a particular group or a particular segment seems to be more promising and a segment that you should target, the mix of offering that you have, your life cycle stage, what your competitor is doing, your emerging place in the market, and the trends. So, sometimes new segments come in and it is beneficial for a company or a firm to target the new segments that have come up as a rising trend, right. So, once you have identified the segments and you have created the the initial data profile of those segments, you have to understand them more closely. You have to delve deeper into their purchase patterns, into the values, into the interest elements, the motivations, what is acting as a driving force, what are the drivers and inhibitors, what is the key source of influence for them, what is influencing them, what is the role of that particular segment or that particular kind of a user in the overall decision making journey? What is the specific interest area, which relates them to the product or to your firm? What is the common value which is going to be exhibited when you interact with them? And this is the shared common value which is going to bind you with your base of consumers. So you have to understand them more in order to look for that pattern, look for that particular commonality which can then be leveraged in your to link better with that particular segment group that you wish to target. For companies that launch new products, it would be a beneficial exercise to research what your competing firms are doing and how your competitors are understanding the consumer. So through your competitors, probably you can understand your consumers better and you can understand their buying motivations, because you are new and you do not have your own experience which can provide you any which can actually provide you with any new inputs. After you have done this exercise, there can be quantitative assessment that can be done. So firms can use data that you have procured so far, information that you have procured so far, related to the content that they usually consume, for example, in the digital marketing space, the keywords that they search, the social interactions that they indulge in order to understand the quality of the interactions, the preference of the consumers, their likings, something which was not possible traditionally, because you were not having these kind of finer data capturing techniques and data analysis techniques. So that quantitative data assessment and the metrics which are available in the digital space allows you to do this kind of research and then target your groups better, or develop the user persona accordingly. And then lot of qualitative data. After obtaining all the quantitative inputs, the firms can also make use of various other qualitative techniques which come handy, which you also use as a part of your marketing research exercise in your traditional marketing also, like interviewing with your segments, conducting many multiple parallel focus group exercises, going for some sort of mapping, affinity mapping or value mapping across the consumer funnel stages, so that you can work at more detailed and finer elements of your user persona creation. Having done that, targeting is complete, where now you would be targeting your digital marketing efforts to a particular user persona group. The next logical way to move forward is how to position yourself with that particular segment that you wish to target. So with digital marketing providing you with the possibility of understanding your audience, your target group more closely, both at the individual level for each of the chosen target cluster groups or segments. Also, you can segregate them across the marketing funnel. Marketeers have the potential to position themselves differently with a differential advantage. So, in case of digital marketing, you can position yourself with a difference. There is a position differential. You can have customized messages real time across each of the consumer groups and across each of the funnel stages, depending on the type of customers, depending on your conversion metrics that you are using, that you are being targeting for that particular channel. So even your positioning becomes more focused. After the customer development strategy, where you are largely creating user persona, you are identifying segments, creating user persona, targeting and then positioning yourself, we come, students, to the third stage of your strategy, which is mix. digital marketing mix. Traditional marketing mix, we know, comprises of 4 P's: product, price, place and promotion. Your digital marketing mix will have 4 additional P's, making it a total of 8 P marketing mix, where 4 additional P's deal with people, process, programs and performance. Let us have a quick overview of all these 8 P's, starting from product. We know that product is a combination, is a certain combination of good, which is tangible, and service, which is intangible. Now, most products which are sold online, they assume a service orientation. Why? Because they are mostly intangible. They have a service element attached to them. As a customer cannot actually and literally touch them or feel them. It is only the service elements that can differentiate a product from its online competition. When it comes to price, how your digital pricing is different from the pricing that you do in case of your traditional marketing. In case of digital marketing, your pricing involves lot of analysis, lot of careful consideration based on multitude of factors. You have more and more digital pricing models, and with that in place, with the aspects of dynamic pricing, with the aspect of differential pricing, with the aspect of discriminatory pricing on the digital platforms, pricing in digital marketing has become even more complex and crucial element, very important in a highly competitive, transactional driven online environment. Third P, place. Place obviously is digital. You are basically on the net. So, how consumer can access it? Earlier consumers used to visit a store, but in the present time when we are talking about the digital marketing, we are talking about online deliveries which are done and made possible at every location as per the convenience of the consumer. Promotion. In the earlier traditional marketing, the firm used to sell its product and communicate about it through the various tools which were available: advertising, sales promotion, personal selling, PR activities, right? Now, what kind of communication the firm is going to use to sell its products and services which are different in the traditional marketing and which were different in traditional marketing in terms of the media, in terms of marketing activities. Now you follow a integrated marketing communication approach, which is largely a part of the whole broadened or expanded version of your promotion exercise, where the promotion is not limited to what you used to practice in your digital marketing, but also how your new digital channels are getting integrated with what you used to use earlier in the past. And it is a integrated approach of traditional as well as modern digital channels which the companies are going to use in order to communicate with the external parties. Let us look at the 4 additional P's, newer ones in digital marketing, starting from people. So, in the context of digital marketing, you are trying to relate to the people element. You are trying to relate to the need of deep set consumer data, which is going to help you to understand your consumers better. It's going to help you to understand who is going to influence them, what is the community that is going to exert the strongest influence on them on your online consumers so that you can market your activities to the key digital personas. Process, which largely includes creativity, discipline, structure, procedures that you would be following in terms of carrying out your planned marketing activities. You have to highlight, in case of digital, you have to highlight the manner in which marketing has changed or is continuously revamping itself from the traditional form to something which now in the digital marketing sense is more process driven, which is more structured and which is making use of technology and automation to bring home some efficiencies and effectiveness, in operations which were earlier not possible because you were dealing with a traditional marketing structure. Program. What is a program? Something that, is going to be user directed, and here it is going to be consumer directed. So you have to design your marketing programs which should be directed at consumers, which a firm is going to organize. Now these programs are to be organized by a firm. So you are going to have a set of activities, both traditional and your digital marketing activities, which the firm is going to run, which a marketer is going to run in parallel, where each activity is going to leverage from the other and they are going to be a part of a bigger integrated marketing program. Performance, which is the 8th P, the final P of your digital marketing mix, which relates to how you capture and measure the range of possible outcomes, which can be in the form of financial outcomes and the non-financial outcomes. Tracking your performance in the digital setting, which is based both on financial metrics and the non-financial metrics, and maybe even beyond the two, where you will be talking about social responsibility, legal aspects, ethical aspects, community related activities. So all in all, what do we mean by performance here? We are essentially planning for not only the business performance financially and non-financially, but also together looking at the company that has an impact holistically on the environment also, on the society also, and this is going to be your balanced performance metric. So after having an understanding of students, the 8 P's of your digital marketing mix, we move ahead with the 4th sub-stage of the strategy phase, which is digital marketing implementation. So now we have to implement the digital strategy. What is digital marketing implementation? Obviously, when we were crafting and developing a digital strategy, now that it is in place, one has to go for execution. One has to develop an implementation strategy for the chosen customer segments. Firms can have their own different implementation strategies. As I said right in the beginning of the session, there is no one size fits all kind of an approach that one can follow, any firm can follow in digital strategies. So firms can have their own specific implementation strategies depending on what is their business objective, what is the kind of digital leverage they are looking forward to, what is the current digital state, what kind of a firm it is it using digital strategy to push its product more prominently, is it a new brand in the development stage, Is it a well established brand or not so well established brand? So all those three scenarios or even multiple scenarios, what do you exactly want your digital strategy to do and how you have crafted it for a particular target segment would also have a bearing on how you would be implementing and what kind of implementation strategies you would be having. Digital implementation. Why do you think, students, this is important or this requires some deliberation? When you have a strategy in place, it is very obvious that you would be going ahead and implementing that. But when you have an implementation strategy, that is how you will go about the whole thing. How will you really execute whatever you have planned? This helps the firms to know the type of channels, the type of methodologies, the procedures, the action elements that you can deploy, and the extent to which you really need to invest more. In the, if you want to earn more, then how much more, how much additional incremental return on investment you are looking at, and so how your digital strategies have to be implemented so that they give you that incremental ROI. Your implementation strategy also helps you to get an insight on how you can, as a firm, model or maybe modify your marketing mix to suit your situation in the best possible manner. You were dealing with some marketing mix in the traditional landscape also, but how you digitally strategize and how you execute and move step by step into the digital marketing process is also going to help you in aligning your mix better, where you will be taking care of those 4 additional elements and to what extent you can leverage or take advantage of any one of them and can turn it into your core strength or core competencies. When you look at your implementation strategy more clearly, and for a digital marketer, when you also have a implementation strategy in place, you can also do a lot of competitor analysis and assessment in a effective manner. Like how firms can, if they have the implementation strategy right, they can map their competitors' presence in the digital marketing scape to assess where they need to invest more, how they need to alter their digital marketing strategy vis-a-vis what competitors are doing. So, I have a digital strategy in place, I have a digital state, I have a digital presence. Now, how I need to analyze and modify this all, given the fact that my competitor is also in some digital state, is in some digital marketing strategy exercise, is in some implementation phase of its digital strategy, and how I can now align myself better to the same competitor who is now competing with me in the digital marketing scape. So, you can fine tune it better and better. So, students, if we look at it and if we brush our understanding, we would know that we have, as a part of our digital marketing framework, understood and analyzed 2 prominent stages of digital marketing completely. One was an assessment stage that helped us to assess the need for going digital, doing an internal analysis to understand our capabilities, our strengths, our needs, our objectives, and then doing an external analysis mapping to understand the extent to which it will be helpful for a firm to move or transition from traditional to digital marketing. We also understood that this assessment will also help you in really understanding the state or the level at which a firm currently is. Will you be really starting with digital marketing and application of digital marketing afresh, or you as a firm are somewhat into it? You are practicing and applying some of the aspects of digital marketing but not completely. After assessing and becoming sure that yes, you really indeed want to transition or complement your traditional efforts with your digital marketing presence, you move ahead to the strategy development. So, you develop a digital strategy, go for identification of segments, target a segment based on the creation of user persona and development of the personas, position yourself, do some analysis of your competitors, have a proper mix in place, and launch or go ahead with your digital marketing with some right implementation strategies. So, students, in the subsequent sessions, we will move forward with different other stages in the digital marketing framework. Thank you, and we will meet shortly with some more interesting topics.